I did a video last year on the Southern Pro Hockey League and their idea of having a first round where the top seeds challenge the lower seeds. So in that first round, you have your challenge, and you could broadcast that on TV, and it would be a big deal. And ultimately, I didn't get to see the challenge, which in retrospect sucked. But today I'm reading about the Federal Hockey League doing something that doesn't involve the Charlestown Chiefs before people make that joke. But it is the same name as the league in the movie Slapshot, so that's out there. The idea, and it's crazy, and it's in the South, and this is the kind of thing you do to sell hockey in non-hockey markets, is to have the shootout before the game. Stick with me on this one, because it's crazy. So you have both teams face off before the game starts with a shootout, and I know everybody's going, I can't find the dislike button fast enough on this. This is a horrible idea. Just stick with me on this, because I can kind of understand it a little bit. The idea being you have the shootout before the game. Stop hitting the dislike button. And at the end of the game, if the game is tied, the shootout result is already known. Now, what I like about this is simple, and the owner that's bringing this about is kind of right on this. Let me go ahead and grab the article. This was on the Hockey News today. Federal League team. Brand admits it's a marketing tactic, a chance for some flash and showmanship. The pregame shootout is a way to ensure fans in a market where the game isn't ingrained in the culture see some lamplighting action each time they come to the rink. And it's funny because you've got this, and it's Federal League's Carolina Thunderbirds. That's what it is. Scott Brand, president and GM of the Carolina Thunderbirds. So because I wanted to discuss exactly where this came from, just so we can say, yeah, well, South Carolina, whatever, which is going to be the answer a lot of people give. Think about this. How many overtimes have we seen lately where they're kind of ragging the puck around center ice, and you can tell they're playing for a shootout, and it's weird. I've always thought that was weird, that you don't go for it in overtime because you're playing for the shootout. What if the shootout's already happened and you've lost? So let's say it's 2-2 in overtime between Pittsburgh and Philly, which is already going to be crazy as it is. But Philly won the shootout before the game. Pittsburgh has to win in overtime. They will pull out all the stops to win in overtime. They might pull the goalie in the last minute to make it a 4-on-3. I know people are going to say that's a cheap stunt, it wouldn't work. And I somewhat agree, and yet I'll be very interested to see how this works. This is the kind of thing that could make me track a league that we don't talk about and we don't pay much attention to, because I want to see how it works out. The weird part is that it's in a league that, according to the actual article on it itself, they don't see very many shootouts there. But the owner's saying, look, there are 3-on-3s where the team doesn't have any sense of urgency because they're playing for the shootout. Play the shootout before the game. And it does allow to have these incredible plays before a game starts. So if you're bringing somebody to a hockey game who's never seen a hockey game before, it's a chance for some excitement before the game. And not only that, but there are people who always arrive late. And so if you have the shootout before the game, they won't be arriving late anymore. I know it's crazy, but to me, and while I'm not saying the NHL should ever do this, I think it's a fun rule, and I think it's this kind of outside the box thinking that could make hockey different, more exciting, and yet not ruin the game, not change the game fundamentally. And it's a good way to get players into the game is to have a nice old shootout. And yeah, I would be very interested to know what you guys think. And again, I think if we're gonna see hockey grow and expand further, the game is fantastic right now. But it's this kind of thing, and yeah, it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick, absolutely. But sports is full of gimmicks. I've looked at some recent NFL. It seems like the NFL's sort of loosening up a bit on the celebrations in the end zones, and there's been some interesting ones over the last couple of years. And I think it's because they know that gets played on highlight reels everywhere, and it kind of sells the game. Where people are like, oh, that's kind of weird. What's he doing? Are they eating dinner in the end zone? What? That's a celebration? Anyways, and sometimes it's just baffling. But it's stuff like this that I really I don't have a problem with. I think it's fun, and I'll be interested to know what you guys think, especially if you follow the Federal Hockey League. Are you excited to see stuff like this? And when you're trying to fill a barn with 1,000, 2,000 fans in a lower level league, why not give it a shot? It's one of those things that, yeah, it will probably bring in some casual fans, and if it's a big hit, does it go to any other leagues? It's just an interesting thought. I figured I'd do a video on it, throw it up on the channel, and see what you guys have to say. And again, I'm not saying that it's a great, fantastical idea, but I'm not a huge fan of the shootout in general, and I think some kind of a change in the format might be worthwhile to look at. But I'd again be interested to know what you guys think. Like I've been in favor of a 10-minute overtime, but I understand people saying that that's too much on players, and 5 minutes is pushing it as it is. And I'm not saying I disagree with that. It's just, for me, the shootout, this kind of goes full gimmick with it, which I'm kind of like, yeah, all right, do that. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.